Hey guys, I just wanted to do an update review on the Kobe Pro race gloves that I did before. I actually found that my review was quoted in several online threads, so I guess people are researching things, and since it was quoted, I figured I'd do a quick follow-up. So first of all, I believe these have, since I bought them, somewhere between 6 and 8 track days now. Probably 8 now. And as far as wear, they still look pretty good. They still look fine. There's a little bit of leather going here, but that's minor. You can see the little discoloration. They did stretch in pretty nicely. Some of the things that I thought were a problem were not a problem. A friend of mine offered to buy these for me, so I ordered a new set, which are these large, thinking maybe they'll fit me better. Unfortunately, they actually do run large, so when on their website they say buy a size smaller, that's really true. I thought that, in the last video I complained about my fingers being too long for these gloves, but the reality is that these gloves are longer and they're fine, but then, I have absolutely, they're flappy, I guess you could say, around my fingers, around my hand. The other thing that I noticed is, first of all, the closure system that I complained about last time, where this is too close to the thumb, is still true in the large versions as well. The problem that I complained about where this piece, once you start getting it on all the time, let me show you. Like this, when you start using it a lot, it's really supposed to twist that way, but because it doesn't actually go around the wrist, it goes around the top of the thumb. It always bunches up really hard right here. So when you're at the track and doing this quickly, it usually looks like that, if you can see that. Not a problem, at some point it'll just rip. I know one of the other guys, a racer that I know, his are ripping, but I don't know how many years he's had these gloves for. But overall, I'm still very impressed with these gloves. I still like them a lot. One thing I did notice is that it's a little bit of a crapshoot as far as quality of the glove. So these gloves that I got originally were, pretty decent and nice. However, I ordered another pair of larges, and besides the little aesthetic differences like this, where you could see, just the cutout holes for the carbon fiber aren't pretty, there are also issues with, it's kind of hard to see this, hopefully you can see this. Look at that point right there on the carbon fiber underneath. So this is one piece of carbon fiber underneath the leather. Look at that point. It's only a matter of time before this rips. In fact, you can already see it's starting to dent in. So overall, they're still very good gloves for the money. Key being for the money. Key point. One other tip that I'll give is, I still like the gloves, I would still fall down them, etc. However, they do get very, very, very hot in hot weather. Our last track days were in the high 80s, almost 90 degrees, and it was almost unbearable to ride in general. Especially being that, we're not really used to this temperature just yet, our bodies. And I was sweating my ass off in these gloves. Their only ventilation is between the fingers, and unless you remember to always open your fingers in the straights, or sometimes, there's really a lot of sweat that accumulates here. I really wish there was some kind of ventilation, or at least exhausts, maybe on the back end here, or something where it would, pull the heat out. But other than that, they're fine. Also, last time I mentioned my old Joe Rocket gloves. I couldn't find them. I actually found them. I had them laying around in my garage. And so let me show you quickly why I like these over these. So first of all, they have the same knuckle. They have the protection. The sliders, they don't really have anything for slider here. However, check this out. And this is why I'm never going to buy Joe Rocket again. Look at this. This ripped. Oh, one really important thing I'll mention really quickly is, notice on this glove where the top of my thumb is and where the wrist is. And this is what really aids to the comfort. Notice the pre-curve on the glove. This is what I really liked about this glove. Pre-curved, very comfortable around the wrist. I mean, these are things that this Kobe Pro should have had. I mean, the issue is not the quality of components, despite what I said about, quality control and everything else. It's really, the problem is with the cut of the glove. This should really be a little bit lower, a little bit higher up towards the wrist area. The fingers should be slightly longer, but if you have, chubby fingers, or not chubby, but if you have shorter fingers, this is fine. If my fingers were only 1/4 inch shorter, this would fit like a glove. Okay, let me show you something else with these gloves. Check this out. Now keep in mind that these do have something like at least 20 track days on these gloves. So, and probably a few thousand street miles. But look at how ripped up this got. Now, I ripped this up, after they started ripping, I ripped them up on the street while riding, but look at that leather wearing through. We're not talking about like, at the seams or anything else. We're talking like literally leather just is so thin that after all the wear it just wore right through. So, kind of doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies when it comes to, falling down in this thing. So on this side, of course, everything's fine. You have like all kinds of sliders and protection and random crap, and it's a very comfortable glove. The flow at the digits over here is nice. At the wrist over here is awesome. But if you were ever able to slide on this like that, I don't know. I wouldn't trust these gloves. So I'm probably not going to buy another Joe Rocket glove, but never say never. Another thing I wanted to really show were my in the last video review that I did, I said that you'd probably have to go up to like the $200 Alpinestars to equal the protection of these. So let me explain why I said that. So first of all, as far as carbon fiber knuckles, pretty much every glove at a $100 level and up is going to have that. So that's no longer anything new. However, look at the protection. This is my wife's SP2 glove. This is probably around 120 bucks. First of all, the leather is very thin compared to this leather. I mean, this is nice thick leather, and initially you do lose a little bit of the feel, but a little bit of the dexterity, but you get it back, or at least you get used to it, I should say. But I'd rather take the protection over, feeling like you're riding golf gloves or something. This slider, this is the same thing as Alpinestars uses in the GP Pro, which is their $200+ glove. I'm not very impressed. I know it's some rubber and it's supposed to slide, but compare that to this, where the whole palm has a slider and the pinky. Very important, so that your pinky doesn't, grab onto the pavement and contort and break and whatever else. Like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, there's no padding, there's no protection. I mean, as far as gauntlets go, this is a small glove because it's my wife's glove, but you can tell. I mean, it's floppy. I mean, that's something that I would wear for track duties. Even for the street, I mean, I think you have to actually put more for the street because it's a lot more dangerous on the street than on the track. On the track, worst cases, you're probably just sliding most of the time. On the street, you have obstacles, you have things you're hitting, curbs, other cars, people, whatever. So anyway, I hope that explains why I really like these gloves. If you can afford more, I really love them at this price point. They were $110 shipped, $100 for the glove, and Kobe charges $10 shipping. However, if you can spend over $200, there are definitely plenty of gloves which will give you at least the same amount of protection, but more comfort. It's really about the comfort, in my opinion. I don't know. So, if money, grew on trees for me, I would be buying the Held Phantoms, which are almost $300. You get similar protection. The gauntlet is longer. It's much harder all across. It has more memory foam. I mean, this has memory foam. That one has more protection. For the bottom, it has kangaroo palms, which are nice and thin and they're stronger than leather, and give you a lot more dexterity. And when I actually just put them on this weekend. This past weekend, I was at the track, and from the initial feel, they feel like they're already broken in, so very nice. They have the Stingray sliders, etc., etc., etc. So, but the question is, are they worth almost 3 times more? That's really up to you. If you know, you have to value. I mean, you have to decide how you value your hands. I obviously value my hands a lot, but to me, it comes down to comfort. Am I willing to pay an extra $200 for comfort? Not yet. Maybe in the future. And these, like I said, now that they're broken in, they're way more comfortable. So, anyway, I hope this helped. And these will unfortunately be going back to Kobe. And I'll keep sticking with these until I get something better or something else. And like I said, the only reason I would really get them is the comfort here. The pre-curved stuff went away, and the ventilation. The ventilation probably being key. I really wish these were more ventilated, because the uncomfort factor, you know, you kind of don't feel it while you're riding. There's so many other things to pay attention to, but the lack of ventilation when you get off the track and, you know, your hands are sweaty and everything's sweaty, it's like, ah. So, hope this helps. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Alright.